Yo everyone, it is Matt here back with another video. Today we're going to be doing another career video. This time we're going to do a player who suffered through injuries, suffered through hate, and that player is Jonathan Drouin of the Montreal Canadiens currently. So far he is 5'11", 201 pounds, and he is the age of 26. He was drafted in 2013, third overall to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So with Drouin, obviously you have a high pick. You would expect some high expectations from him to break in throughout the opening season coming up. You know, it took him a year to develop. Obviously, some players do develop right away. Some don't at third overall. It doesn't really matter necessarily. It doesn't depend on your ability. It just depends on if you're ready to make the jump or not. He took a year off to get in shape or whatever, which is fine. So he broke in 14-15. So a year later after his draft year, in 2014-15, he had 70 games played, 4 goals, 28 assists, 32 points, plus 3. So about a point every other game. The goals were kind of concerning for Drouin. He's under the small size, 5'11", not a huge guy or anything. He's a winger, so you would expect more goals from a gut performer like that. But, sometimes it is what it is. Just for solid for the rookie year. Overall, it was an okay year. Nothing spectacular from Drouin, but it was definitely something to make you on the roster. Following that year with 50-60, he's still with Tampa, remind you that. Obviously, with Tampa Bay, right away in his rookie year, though, before we get next season, he went into the Stanley Cup Finals, but he would only play 6 games. So, no cup for him, barely any action, no points, -6. So then next year, he breaks in with Tampa Bay in 15-16, playing 21 games, having 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points, and it was a +1. He got injured that year, which obviously cut it significantly into his season. However, he would break into the playoffs and mesh well with the roster. He would put up in 17 games, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points, and was -1. Very, very solid playoff performance from Drouin. Following that year, he would break in again with Tampa Bay, having finally a breakout year with Drouin coming in for the 16-17 year, playing 73 games, scoring 21 goals, 32 assists, 53 points, and -13. This year, Drouin broke out, put up his top six numbers. So looking good for him. At that point, you could think it would only get better for him. That might not be the case always, and this is an example of that. We'll get on with that later. We'll explain to you why, but looking good for him. Obviously, the plus minus, team struggled that year. Team didn't even make the playoffs, so yeah. 17-18, he got traded to the Montreal Canadiens. Reasons I'm not sure what to specify, but apparently he wasn't liking it there. In 17-18, he played 77 games, scoring 13 goals, 33 assists, 46 points, and -28. So, yeah, Montreal missed the playoffs that year. So that shows you why he had the -28. That explains that. The point totals kind of similar, I guess. The goals were just a tad off, if you want to call it tad. Say tad for sure. But he still performed at a reasonable level, top 6, top 9, I guess. However, Drouin still has not broke out to be that elite player the team was looking for either way, which I guess is not going to be the case for Drouin. I guess he's not the type of player who's going to be elite. However, his following year would be much more impressive. So in 18-19, he played 81 games, 18 goals, 35 assists, 53 points, and was a -8. Canadiens, as you can see here, would miss the playoffs, and Drouin didn't even get any action. So he barely gets playoff action, Jonathan Drouin, I'm afraid. I don't know if that's affecting him. I don't think it is, but that's just a fun fact there, or whatever you want to call it. 53 points. So again, he had 53 points, 2 seasons in 3 years. Overall, the thoughts on that are pretty impressive. Again, he's a top 6 player. He's not a star. He's not an elite guy. He's just a guy who can put you up some points, go on your power play, and do some damage against the other team. That's pretty good. overall. He's not a star. He's not Crosby. He's not McDavid. He's not Kane. He's not that. But he's solid. He's a solid winger. That's basically what he is. I mean, he's a good player. Doesn't need a huge cap hit, but obviously he's a good player. But I think people underrate him overall. No one really overrates Durant. It's hard to say they underrate him, but I think that's what the case is for him. But yeah, that's what's my read on it. But yeah, 1920, 27 games played. So he got injured again this year. So injury problems. 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points, and was a -6. Playoff time. He played 10 games, scoring 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points, and was a +3. Solid playoff performance from Durant. Very solid. Season performance-wise, I guess it's solid in the sense that he missed games and he still performed pretty well. So overall, that's not bad. I guess still top 6 numbers. I guess then for Durant was on pace for around 41, 43 points a year that year. I mean, not much really. This is not like a star player we're reviewing here. He's not showing his capability of being a star. He's getting injured. He's not putting any numbers higher than 50. So he hasn't had that breakout year. It's not like McKinnon, where we've been talking about last video, where he had a few 3-4 years just to break his skates and then just dominate, putting up 90 points for 3 consecutive years. It's not that type of player. Some players are just better than others naturally. Some players just are naturally better. Durant's kind of like that guy he's good, but he's not that top guy, like I've said before. Anyways, 2020-21, last year up to date. 44 games, 2 goals, 21 assists, 23 points. Durant really does not like to score goals. That's what my read on him is, because 2 goals in 44 games is it's just not good at all for a forward, at all. It's one thing if it's a defenseman, it's like, okay, but a forward? Gosh. The assists are good, that's for sure. I'm proud of the assists. And he was a -8, so not much of a goal scorer per se. He should be getting the points though, but yeah, he didn't make the playoffs that year either with Montreal. Montreal obviously, as you know, made the playoffs, but he didn't play because he's on long-term injured reserve currently. So let's take a look here. Has he won any awards? No. His career stats: 393 games played, 69 goals, 163 points. Assists, and 232 points. So again, I'll repeat that again since I messed it up. 393 games, 69 goals, 163 assists, and 232 points. And he's a -59, so that's obviously not good at all. Playoffs: 33 games played, 6 goals, 15 assists, 21 points, -4. He's an okay playoff performer. I guess that's my read on it. I mean, he had that 14-15 year that was just bad. The other years he played pretty well, so that's good. As a season performer, I'd say Jonathan Drouin. He's young still. He's at that middle age where you're starting to. He's not a kid anymore. He's now a grown up, if you want to call it that, grown up. But he's now able to play at that elite level. It's either he's going to break out next year or do something big, or he's going to have another flat season where he barely puts up anything, barely scores any goals. He's on long-term injury reserve currently right now. That's why he missed the playoffs. But I don't know, guys. Comment down below what you think Duran will do next year, if he even shows up, that is. Because this guy here also had to deal with hate, apparently. I researched that. I also got that from Schemo, saying, Johnny, he said that he had to deal with a lot of hate, which kind of affected him in his play. So, that's unfortunate for him, but obviously that affects everything, but not much you can really say there. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you like more daily career videos, more NHL 21 content, Chicago Blackhawks recaps after every game coming up, and etc. for vlogging and other content like this. and I will see you guys in the next video.